wanted to touch base today on a topic that I've never really talked about before, and I didn't really know much about. I still don't know a whole lot about because it's hard to find anything on the internet about it. It's attachment, spiritual attachment, or demonic attachment, I guess. It could be either. I'm pretty sure most everyone in my ghost hunting group has experienced it within the last 5 or so days, me included. It's a fun experience. I'll talk about the experiences first, and then what I could find on attachment online, and maybe some ways to get rid of an attachment to help people out there who don't know anything about them, and maybe help prevent others from going through this. I'll start with Wednesday night. We went to a graveyard that we had never been to before, and I'm pretty sure that was last week's video. And it was yielding some decent evidence. Nothing physical was happening. Nothing you could see. Just some stuff through the spirit box that was pretty clear, which was good. But honestly, it's not worth what happened to all of us after. We went twice, and I don't know that I ever want to go back. The first night, Wednesday night when we went, it was me, my Uncle Johnny, his girlfriend Mandy, and my little cousin Jake. And we went and came back because it started raining. But we were getting some stuff through the spirit box, and not really seeing anything. Not much was happening except for the voices. We left because it started raining, and then we came back about probably an hour later, if that. And we were talking about going to eat at Taco Bell that night, and my little cousin Jake decided he was gonna invite it to come with us just to Taco Bell because he didn't understand how it worked. And then my uncle told him, "No, you take that back. Nothing should follow us." Well, it didn't listen, obviously, and something followed my cousin, and something attached to my uncle. So, that night, on the way home, after we left Taco Bell, before that, I got the word choke on the app that I use on my phone. And 90% of the ride home, Jake was choking. Coughing, choking, whatever you want to call it, half the way home. Which was odd. It could be a coincidence. I don't know. But after what else happened, I can't say that. So, but anyway, flash forward to later that night. My uncle's staying with his girlfriend Mandy, and he hears scratching on her bedroom window and something whispering his name into his ear. And even before that, when we were still at the graveyard, he had to pee, like bad. So he went, not in the graveyard exactly, not on anybody, just on a tree outside the graveyard, and something whispered in his ear and told him to leave now, and I think that might be what attached to him. And then Jake, I think that same night, or maybe the night after, I don't know, he and his brother watched his rolly chair just start spinning slowly in their bedroom. And then that same night, I think, he woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and his stove was turned on by itself. But as far as I know, that's all he experienced, and it must have left. It must have not been very strong. He just followed him home for a night and left. But anyway, the next night, Thursday night, my uncle had to work 4 to midnight, and he said every time he would go in the bathroom to wash his hands, he'd see a black entity behind him walking. He'd turn around, nothing be there. And that continued all night. And he also had scratches on his leg, which I don't have a picture of or anything, but they're in a very, not really YouTube friendly area. Not that you could see anything, but yeah. And then Friday night, we went back. No, we didn't go back. We went back to that church that I've investigated a few times that night. And he encountered either what was there, was a big black entity, or what was attached to him. Either way, he confronted it, and he had this bad burning pain on his back, and he had a massive headache afterwards. So I think whatever it was attached is gone, because ever since then he's felt fine. He's felt 100% better. So I think whatever attached left him that night. Now, whether it be at that church or if it went back to where it come from, I don't know. And then Saturday night we went back. It was me, my sister Megan, her boyfriend Garrett, Johnny, and Mandy. And Garrett got a little mouthy with it, so I think something may have followed him home, because just yesterday morning my sister texted me and said that their closet door had opened on its own. And she chalked it up to not shutting it all the way, but it was significant enough for her to tell me about it, so I think that it may be something. And I also think I picked up an attachment that night. Even though I told it multiple times that it couldn't come with me, it just didn't listen. Because yesterday morning my grandma woke me up to take my mom to work because she needed a ride. And I was so angry. It made me so mad that I wanted to hit her. And I don't ever get that mad anymore. I used to, have some anger problems, but I've mellowed out, the last couple of years. I feel a lot better, hormones and stuff. But, it's all leveled out now. And, I haven't felt that way in years. And I used to only feel that way towards my siblings or something, because, you just get mad at them for no reason sometimes. But I hadn't felt that way in a long time. And it scared me. And it used to not scare me, because I feel that way all the time. But now I don't feel that way anymore, and it scared me. But anyway, a couple hours later, my mom put me in a room, because I didn't get much sleep the night before. We didn't get home till almost 5, and I got up at 9 o'clock to take her to work. And so she put me in a room. She works at a hotel. She put me in a room to sleep. And I kid you not, a couple hours in, they have alarm clocks, and the radio turned on by itself, blared, and it scared the bejesus out of me. So I got up and left and found my mom, because I usually stay with her anyway. But it was a very sketchy situation. I don't know if the feeling I had that morning was just like left over from the night before, residual energy. If the clock thing turning, she swore up and down that they never did that the alarms would go off, but not that the radio would turn on by itself. And I didn't even know how to turn it off when it did turn on. There wasn't a button for it on there. And so I don't know if that was a coincidence or what, but earlier I tried to film this once before, and I started feeling really weird in my head. And then I come back in here to do it again, and I hear a kid's voice come out of my wall. I live in an apartment on the 2nd story. There's no one above me. The only thing below me is a law office that isn't even open today because it's Labor Day. And I hear a kid, what sounds like a child, come out from behind a dresser. The voice on the corner of the room. It's impossible. A little kid. Little bitty kid. So I don't know if something is still following me. I know that demons can present themselves as children, so that scares me. Also, our neighbor just died last night, but he was an old man in his late 60s. So he wouldn't sound like a child if he did, decide to come back. And this over here opens to the outside. This side goes to the bathroom, and then on the other side of the bathroom wall is his apartment, which he never went in that side anyway. But it was over here on this wall where it goes outside. And I got up and looked, and there was nobody outside walking. So it sounded so close. It didn't sound like it come from outside, because you can hear stuff outside through the windows when they're not even open. But it literally sounded like it come from in here. And the last thing I need is more ghosts following me. I've got plenty of relatives and Angie on top of that. Don't need any more. I thought it left. I haven't had any more anger or anything weird happening until then. But it might be hiding itself. I don't know. That's all on what happened. I want to talk a little bit about like the symptoms of this. And I know that spirits don't really possess people, but demons do. They attach so they can possess. And some spiritual attachments just follow you because they want to know, want to feel like what it's like to be alive again. Or they don't know that they're dead and they follow you because they feel the life force or whatever. That's what I got out of my research today. I didn't find much on it. I mean, there was a lot of things to tell you how to get rid of attachments, and I don't change my mind. I live down the street from a Catholic church. Not a Catholic, but might need their help. But anyway, I'm gonna grab my laptop here. Some of the signs and symptoms are lethargy and feeling exhausted. I felt exhausted all day yesterday, but I also didn't get much sleep. Sudden onset of irritability, crankiness, or snappiness. That I had. My uncle had that too. Like I said, I'm pretty sure his left. I thought mine did, but after that, I don't think so. Anger or rage issues not previously present. Once again, I had that. Frequent nausea or stomach illness. No. Feeling like the house you live in is always haunted. Well, I've experienced that. Not here. There's nothing here. There was nothing here. Anyway, I lived here for almost a year. Well, a year this month, and no hauntings. Until now. I might have brought it with me. Extreme and often dangerous mood fluctuations. Any sudden behavioral or personality change. A feeling of heaviness or pressure. Waking up to presences around you at night. I've not done that since I moved out of my mother's house. The house she lives in now is supposedly haunted by a little boy who got killed running after his ball into the middle of the road. He got hit by a car. I'm not sure when this was supposed to have happened, but apparently it did happen. And he now is supposed to haunt that, and I used to wake up in the middle of the night and see something that was there, and I'd rather do a whole video on that. Then go into it on this one. Negative outlook on life not previously present. Feeling like you have low energy. I kind of feel like that today, honestly. Bizarre, haunting, or horrifying dreams. That's a negative. I don't think any of us have had any of that. Is that all of them that make drug or alcohol dependence? I would like to touch on this just for a second. I do want to do a video about the house that I grew up in. Well, when we first moved back from Kentucky, I did live there for 9 years, so technically I spent preteen to adult years there. And so I did grow up there. And I believe it's 90% of what caused my mother's addiction. And because as soon as she left, she got clean and hasn't had a relapse in 5 years. So I think what happened was it got a hold of her. And I know that house was haunted, and I know something in it was evil. That's all I know. But I do want to talk about it. I would give anything to investigate it, but that would be involved getting a hold of the people that own it now. I don't know if they would let me in there. So that's all about that. Feeling like you were haunted. I'm always haunted. I've been since birth, apparently. Just adding to that list. There's another list over here. I'd also like to add, I don't know, even if I do have an attachment, if I do, it's not really showing itself right now. It hasn't really showed it. I mean, it did yesterday, but it hasn't really showed itself today. I've not felt paranoid. I've not felt like anything's watching me. Nothing like that. And I hope that it is not evil, because I don't know that I can deal with that. I mean, I could, but nobody wants to. I want to talk about the 3 stages of possession really fast, just because maybe how to help avoid possession. Anyway, infestation is basically like an attachment. There's infestation, oppression, and then possession. Infestation, from what I can gather from this website here, is basically just an attachment that goes a step farther. And then oppression, it makes you depressed, it gets in your head, it messes with you, takes away people and stuff, it removes things from your life that would make it hard for it to get a hold of you. And then, you know, everybody knows what possession is. But I'm hoping that I don't have to deal with that. I don't think I will. I would think I would know for sure if it was evil. Or maybe not. It might be masking itself as a child. That concerns me, because I'm pretty sure that's what happened in the house that I grew up in. We all thought, oh, it's just a little girl. No. I don't believe it was. But I've not really had any experiences with it. With attachment before. Like I said, I couldn't really find much online about it. And it can be scary if you don't know what you're dealing with, and usually you don't. If I don't know for sure if it's gone within the next few days, then I'll probably try to figure out for sure what it is and how to get rid of it. I don't want it stuck with me forever. No. I don't need any more ghosts. I don't need any more hauntings. I'm good. I have enough. I told it to leave earlier when I started to feel bad. And I felt better, so I don't know if it's just hiding or if it's still here. But I'm going to assume within the next couple days I'll know. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any tips or tricks on how to keep from getting attachments, I will greatly appreciate them. Also, if you have any stories you want to share or anything, I'll put my email in the description if you want to send them to me, because I'm curious to hear about other people's stories. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.